Companion planting for beginners. Today is Friday, and you know what we do at my house on Fridays? We plant. Let's get some companions in the ground. So don't you have to plant something before you can companion plant with that something? It's a trick question. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put tomatoes underneath this wire, but it's just a little soon to be putting the tomatoes out, but pretty quick. But I'm gonna go ahead and get some companions in the ground. They'll be good and established when we go ahead and plant the tomatoes. It's also gonna help me space them out. It's also gonna bring some pollinators in. If you've been following my story, you know I like to plant things that you can eat. You can actually eat the marigold flowers. I'm not gonna pull any off right now. I wanna keep these growing. I wanna attract some pollinators. I'm gonna go ahead and plant some along this line. I'm gonna plant a couple along that line, and a couple along the back line. This year, I'm not gonna get quite as crazy with the tomatoes as I did last year. I mean, 107 was quite a bit. So let me move some mulch, and then we'll get some of these in the ground. We're gonna go ahead and move enough mulch that we can get down the soil. The reason this is companion planting for beginners makes my head spin to try to figure out everything you can plant together. But by putting some flowers out, you bring in some pollinators, which is always good for the garden. You also make your garden a little prettier, which is always good for the garden. And you can eat them, which is always good for the garden. So come on, let's get a few of these in the ground. With any luck, some of our lotus survived. We ought to have lotus again this year. But just like everything else, you just pull that mulch back a little bit. You're only gonna dig down deep enough for your root ball. Pop your plant out. Drop it in there. Backfill. Snug it down. Give it a little drink. And these are good and established, so we're going to go ahead and mulch back in around there. There you go. Now we're ready to put tomatoes out right next to it, and that's companion planting, Wayland style. Let's get a few more of these in. When I was saying it can make your head hurt, trying to figure out what fixes nitrogen in the ground, and what needs to be next to what, and what brings in what pollinators to do what to which plant, the more beneficial life you can attract, the better off you're gonna be. And with the deep mulch, what I've learned, your deep mulch creates the environment for that life in the soil that breaks down the rock that's already in your soil. And then those other critters that live in the soil with them make those nutrients plant soluble, and the plants take them up and they grow really well. And just like that, we've defined our garden a little more. We've got our companions out ready for our tomatoes to go in. And if you've been following my story, you've seen the results too. You can do this. You just layer on your mulch, 4 inches thicker. To start with, you want to start it thicker. When was the best time to start a deep mulch garden? That'd be 7-8 years ago. When's the next best time to start a deep mulch garden? Right now, today, you still have time. On this Come Plant With Me Friday, I'm pretty blessed. I'm able to get out here and put things in the ground. The wind's gonna blow pretty hard tomorrow, but I could be under snow like a whole bunch of people in the United States. But you can do this too. And if you've never done a deep mulch garden, now's a really good time to start. If someone asked me why we let our onions go to seed, well, to get seeds, but also the bumblebees. They're also enjoying the flowers on the blueberries. Our Swiss chard and our seed beets, which are getting ready to put on a big seed head, they made it through the winter just fine. You can do this too. Oh, I almost forgot. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think I'm going to plant tomorrow. We've had some really good guesses. Have you ever heard anybody say you can't have enough beets? Probably not tomorrow, but we're going to plant quite a few more. Succession planting. We'll go into succession planting for beginners a little bit later. Hope you join me for that. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.